Good evening, folks. My name is Francisco Rodriguez, and I work at the City of Long Beach Neighborhood Resource Center, one of the lead facilitators for the Neighborhood Leadership Program.
I'm Margaret Madden, the Neighborhood Improvement Officer for the City of Long Beach, and I'm going to try really hard tonight to channel my inner G. Linsner.
Okay, hi. I'd like to start off by thanking CCJ, the board, the staff, and also Jean and Ann for making our celebration tonight possible. When Catherine asked if Margaret or myself were going to introduce Heather Green tonight, we said yes. We both share the excitement and Heather's story and her work. So if you see me step off from the mic, it's because Margaret is going to pick up. Okay? So Heather Green. Imagine, if you will, a young 20-something-year-old girl with a love for music and art, going to college and living in a house with a rock band in a crime-infested, low-income community by the name of Youngstown, Ohio. I ask you to imagine these two contrasting images so that you have an idea of what it means for an honoree to be where she is and to do the work that she does today. In the late 1950s and early 60s, Youngstown was nationally identified by gangland slayings that were often committed with car bombs. The town gained the nicknames Murder Town, USA and Bomb City, USA. Heather got to experience the world outside of Youngstown through a few adventures, hitchhiking to a music festival by the name of Woodstock. After returning from the festival, Heather found that Youngstown, Ohio didn't quite feel like home anymore. I've been asked to set aside some of the details from the music festival. But if you have some time to sit with Heather, she might share them with you. Including one where she rode in the back of a motorcycle that belonged to a Hell's Angel. So after finding that Youngstown wasn't too welcoming a place, upon her return home, she got on a bus to New York one snowy morning with only 2 bags and an address. Her intent was to find where art was. And the address was for a store that sold the types of leather hats that Heather absolutely had to have as one of the first things that she did when she got to New York. For the sake of brevity, I'm going to fast forward past the time that Heather worked as a server at a New York restaurant that was frequented by Andy Warhol, Peter, Paul, and Mary, and even had Jane Fonda come in one night into the restaurant riding a white horse. Despite these wild 60s drug-fueled times, fresh-faced Ohio transplant Heather always managed to stay away from drugs because it would interfere with her ability to do art. Heather was also a contributor at an underground newspaper in New York by the name of the East Village Other, a paper that promoted civil rights, including LGBTQ rights and women's liberation. So now imagine Heather making her way across the country to San Francisco, where she studied at the Academy of Art University and graduated in 1985 with a Bachelor of Fine Arts with honors from the university. The year 1988 finds Heather working as an educational consultant, developing and teaching educational programs for children and adults at several organizations, including Linwood Unified, Compton Unified, and Long Beach Unified.
Heather sets down roots in Long Beach and makes her life's work about giving opportunity for marginalized people to have a voice and to be heard through art. Heather survived a dysfunctional childhood experience and discovered that art can convey messages, provide a different arena, and reach more than one person. She is a self-described socio-political artist. In her first 3 years in Long Beach, Heather serves as the artist in residence at St. Luke's Church downtown at 7th Street and Atlantic Avenue. She creates an exhibit at the church during the Iraq War Desert Storm, featuring the children of war and the effects of war on children from World War II all the way through gang wars within the community. Her exhibit becomes a national news story on National Public Radio and the Los Angeles Times. Heather hosts an art exhibit on Long Beach Boulevard, featuring the homeless and giving them a voice. She helps the homeless people she works with to also see that they could be part of a movement, and she uses the exhibit to do more than just exhibit artwork. Heather says, art has a voice. She uses the exhibit to also collect food and clothing. Her exhibit makes the front page of the Los Angeles Times California section and helps some of the homeless she works with to get jobs. Heather is hired by the city of Long Beach in the spring of 1989 to work on an art project to create temporary murals downtown on vacant building storefront windows along the promenade. This leads to Heather working for the City of Long Beach's Department of Parks, Recreation, and Marine to create the Mural Arts Program and supervise youth hired through the Summer Youth Employment Training Program every summer, beginning in 1989 for 8 to 10 weeks. The Mural Arts Program is created to help combat the graffiti by installing artwork created by local youth and professional artists in low-income neighborhoods. The community is engaged to help create these meaningful pieces that celebrate the people, culture, and flavor of each of their neighborhoods. The artwork helps to deter graffiti, as taggers do not generally mark murals, especially when there is a broad community involvement in creating them. From 1989 to 2003, she employs 20 to 30 kids each summer and produces 18 murals throughout the city of Long Beach with these professional artists. Heather also supplements this training with journaling so that students could realize the power of their words. One summer, the youth learned about the history of the ranchos in Long Beach, and they detail what they learned in their journals. Somehow, Mission San Juan Capistrano hears about what Heather was doing with these youth and invites them all to come visit. Heather manages to utilize the summer youth employment opportunity to help get the students to think, create, grow, and learn the incredible power of images. When they are not painting, Heather finds lots of creative ways to keep the youth busy, engaged, and challenged. She helps to get the students' journals published. The youth each receive 2 journals, and their journals are also added to the public library for the public to read. She brings the youth on field trips to Reprographics at City Hall to produce the journals, and she takes them to the 14th floor to meet their city council representatives and learn about how their local government works. Heather teaches pre-employment work skills as part of her curriculum and coordinates hosting mock interview panels so the youth could practice their job interview skills. Heather creates the Mural Mentor Program. She keeps finding creative ways to bring youth of multiple ethnicities together and creates a safe environment and a safe space for kids to understand each other across cultural and economic barriers. She works to teach youth that art is a nonviolent way to express yourself. Heather reaches out to get gang members involved in the Mural Arts Program, along with non-gang involved youth. Though not trained as a social worker, Heather figures out that she can have a ratio of 1 hard-to-reach youth along with 5 other youth, and that she can create a good balance that helps to draw all of the youth in. Heather works with these groups of youth to engage in creative writing, drawing, and publishing all of their work to be available for the public at the Long Beach libraries. Heather creates a summer youth employment mural arts program that is a safe place for a diverse group of youth. The Hmong community discovers that she has a safe place for their children to go and recognizes that she is creating peace through art. She partners with the City of Long Beach's neighborhood improvement strategy and includes residents involved in some of the toughest Long Beach neighborhoods to include art in giving a voice to the community. Heather's goals include assisting youth and staff in reaching their goals, and she finds ways to assist with resume writing, applying for jobs or educational opportunities, and developing skills needed to succeed in life. Through her mentoring support, Long Beach youth accomplish things that they may not have ever aspired to, including graduation from the Los Angeles Trade Tech School and obtaining engineering internships. Heather's helped dozens of Long Beach youth have a chance to find their voice and discover and connect to opportunities. One of her former summer youth workers is our friend and fellow Neighborhood Leadership Program alum, Gilberto Contreras. As a teenager, Gilberto worked with Heather as a summer youth worker in his neighborhood to help create the mural painted outside the corner market at 10th Street and Dr. Martin Luther King Avenue in 1998. That experience helps Gilbert to get hired as a part-time intern for the city of Long Beach after high school, that leads to a career in working in city government. Today, Gilberto works as the Business Development Administrator for the Port of Long Beach. In the 1990s, Congressman Merv Dymalee's staff connects Berlin, Germany to Heather to look at arts and immigrants through the social work project that amazingly brought the German parliament to Long Beach to tour the murals, meet Heather, and see how her program is using art to make a difference in the community. They were so impressed that they took Heather to Berlin, and they created a spray can artist exchange with Long Beach and Berlin youth. In 1993, Heather works with mural artist Art Mortimer on the Bill Williams Welder mural on Santa Fe Avenue when she meets a gang-involved youth named George, who is working on the art project. George was beginning to turn his life around. He was also taking welding courses in high school at Long Beach City College and participating in art workshops at Admiral Kidd Park to work with at-risk youth to create art and address graffiti and create an alternative to hanging out with gangs. 6 years later, Heather adopts George on December 10th, 1999, while he is incarcerated for a crime he did not commit. Heather visits him every month. After 18 years behind bars, George is granted parole. In May of this year, George graduated from LA Trade Tech, and he's making a positive difference in the community and in the world.
In 1994, Heather received a Master in Fine Arts at California State University, Long Beach. Go Beach. And in the following year, she graduated from the Leadership Long Beach class of 1995. I'm gonna have a talk with Heather about joining the Neighborhood Leadership Program class of 2017. The art community and the local community start to realize the contribution Heather's work is making in Long Beach. She receives recognition for her passion and dedication to her work. In 2001, she received the John Ansford Ford Human Relations Award for exemplary work as director of the Mural Arts Program in promoting mutual understanding and respect among diverse groups in Los Angeles County. She was in good company too. Just so happens that the award was given to a fellow by the name of Eugene Lenzner the year prior. In 2004, she received the Enterprising Women Award from the Public Corporation for the Arts. While I was preparing for tonight, I took a peek at Heather's LinkedIn profile. One of her colleagues describes her as a creative, driven, cultural maverick. She has had a hand in most, if not all, thought-provoking public art pieces in Long Beach. Furthermore, she made it possible for a whole generation of artists to find their place in the cultural community. I would like to congratulate all of our honorees tonight and thank them for all the work that they've done. Tonight is a special night, and tonight is a special night for a special lady. And it is with great pleasure that I'd like to introduce you all to Heather Green.
I'm short. I'm not too comfortable with all this stuff. I'd rather be hanging out with a bunch of kids and be in a park or painting something. But I want to thank you. This is very humbling. It takes a village to raise a child. And it takes people in the community working as a team to make a positive difference. I'm just part of a team. I'm one of the luckiest people around. I never expected to live in Long Beach, and here I am. And it's giving me a voice. It's provided me a way as an artist to make a difference in the community as part of a team. Couldn't have done it without incredible people. And just to name a few, and they're really varied, there's Tom and Jose Flores, somebody we all should know and love, Atrilla Scott, who passed away. Long Beach retired police officers, Barry and Bob Folks. Yes, they were amazing. Teresa Moreno, good old health department. Devin Ivey, Dennis Thies. Dennis was an amazing manager. He said, Heather, go for it. You know, here's money, community development block grant money to work in the community side by side with the Neighborhood Services Bureau. Phil Hester, an incredible park department director. Peggy Sanders, yes, Peggy, with the Summer Youth Employment Training Program. Gladys Kaiser, you're out there. She's carrying part of the mantle in Park and Rec. Margaret Madden, Francisco Rodriguez, Jim Osgood. We've planted a lot of trees and done some great artwork. Stacia Mancini, Jana Ransom with Parks and Rec, Joy Warren, who has to put up with all my creative diversions. I'm really a master in fine arts and a little tricky. So thank you, Joy. An incredible artist named Elliot Pinkney, who's from Compton, a deacon in his church. He was a godsend working with our youth. He taught me so much with his patience and holding the line. Bonnie Lowenthal's out there. What an incredible neighbor and guide. There are just so many people, and I'm just part of the team with all of them. And there were so many kids, and still kids, because I'm at Stearns Champions Park. And they're now making a difference in Long Beach and around the world. We have Celia Ko, that most of you don't know, and she's in Hong Kong teaching. Alexandra Moctezuma, she's down in San Diego and working with the university in Chicano Park down there. Gilbert, you heard about, my son George, and so many more. I've been blessed to be able to share part of my life with them. And I want to thank the city, because without the city of Long Beach and Parks and Rec, I wouldn't be here. And so, thank you so much.